Stop right where you are, my beloved child. Do not scroll past this moment, for this is not a coincidence, nor is it the mere result of a digital algorithm. It is the rhythmic pulse of my heart seeking yours, a divine appointment scheduled before the foundations of the world were laid. I have seen you searching for a sign, wandering through the digital wilderness with a heavy spirit and eyes clouded by silent tears. You thought you stumbled upon this video by chance, but it was my breath that guided your finger to click. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the voice that speaks into the void, and today I am whispering directly into the depths of your weary soul. Listen closely. Chosen one, for the message I have for you is of such vital urgency that your very destiny depends on your willingness to hear it now. You are here because I have summoned you to a place of refuge, a sacred space where the noise of the world fades away so that you can finally hear the truth of who you are to me. Before I reveal the profound transformation I am about to manifest in your life, I invite you to acknowledge this sacred connection. If you can feel my warmth surrounding you in this very second, do not let this moment of grace pass in silence. Press the like button as a sign of your agreement with my word, and subscribe to this channel to join the family of my chosen ones. This is more than a digital action. It is a spiritual declaration that you are ready to walk the path I have carved specifically for you. By joining this community, you are signaling to the heavens that you are no longer a victim of circumstance, but a victor in my kingdom. I am gathering my children from the corners of the earth, and you are a vital part of this gathering. Do not hesitate, for the gates of favor are swinging open, and I want you to be the first to walk through them. Your presence here is a testimony that the darkness tried to extinguish your light, but I, your Creator, refused to let go. In the moments ahead, I am going to unveil the mystery of your survival. You have endured a season so brutal that it was designed by the enemy to be your final chapter. The shadows conspired to crush your spirit, to steal your hope, and to silence the calling I placed within you before you were even formed in your mother's womb. They threw every weapon, every betrayal, and every financial hardship at you, expecting you to shatter into 1,000 pieces. But look at you, you are still standing. You are still breathing. You are still here. Do you want to know why the storm that was meant to break you failed so miserably? It is because while you were weeping on the floor of your room, I was the one holding the walls up. While you were walking through the fire, I was the fourth man in the flame, shielding your skin from the scorch. The enemy thought he had you cornered, but he forgot that I am the Lion of the tribe of Judah, and I protect my own with a ferocity that no demon can withstand. This is the hour of your awakening. I have permitted the testing because I am preparing you for a weight of glory that the average soul could never carry. You are not behind. You are being built into a temple of power. I know the weight of the secrets you carry and the exhaustion that has settled into your very bones. I have seen you put on a brave face for the world while your heart was screaming for help in the silence. Today I am answering that scream. I am peeling back the layers of your pain to show you the masterpiece I have been crafting beneath the surface. You have felt like you were breaking, but I tell you, you were simply becoming. Every crack in your soul was a place where I was pouring in my liquid gold of wisdom and strength. You are a chosen one, and the reason you are still here is because your purpose is too great to be buried by the trials of this world. Stand firm, for the revelation I am about to give you will explain every tear you have ever shed. Before we move deeper into the healing I have for you, declare your presence. Type, "I am here, Lord," or 7007 in the comments to open the gates of heaven over your life right now. I have seen you in the heavy silence of the 2 a.m. hour, when the rest of the world is draped in sleep, but your eyes remain wide, tracing the shadows on your ceiling. I was there in the room when the darkness felt like a physical weight pressing against your chest, making every breath a battle. I saw the way you turned your face into the pillow to muffle the sounds of your sobbing, not wanting anyone to know the depth of the exhaustion that has claimed your soul. You have carried a burden that was never meant for your shoulders alone, and you have done it with a quiet grace that the world does not see, but I have never missed a single moment. Every tear that escaped your eyes and soaked into your sheets was collected by my hand. Not one drop was wasted. I saw you staring at the floor, feeling like a stranger in your own life, wondering if this cycle of weariness would ever end. You have felt so profoundly alone, even in a room full of people, because you carry a storm inside that no one else can understand. But I understand, my precious child. I am the architect of your heart, and I know every rhythm of its ache. I have felt the racing of your heart when anxiety gripped you like a cold hand, leaving you breathless and trembling. I saw those moments when your mind became a battlefield of what-ifs and not-enoughs, where the enemy whispered that you are failing, that you are falling behind, and that your strength is finally running dry. I was standing right beside you when you felt that sudden pang of panic in the middle of a busy day, forcing you to hide in a bathroom stall just to catch your breath and wipe away the evidence of your internal collapse. You think you are weak because you feel this way, but I tell you that your survival is proof of an incredible divine strength. You have walked through seasons of mental anguish that would have leveled others, yet you continue to rise, continue to hope, and continue to seek my face. Your weariness is not a sign of failure. It is the evidence of the great battles you have fought in the spirit. You are a warrior who has been fighting in the trenches for far too long without rest, and today I have come to take the sword from your hand so that you can finally lean against me. I saw you when you reached the absolute limit of your human endurance and whispered, "I can't do this anymore." I heard that quiet, desperate prayer when you didn't even have the words left, only a groan of the spirit. In those moments of utter depletion, I was the unseen force that kept your heart beating and your lungs expanding. When you felt like you were drowning in a sea of responsibilities and expectations, I was the buoyant grace that kept your head above the water. You have been so hard on yourself, criticizing your own fatigue and judging your own need for rest, but I look at you with nothing but infinite compassion. I do not see a broken vessel. I see a masterpiece in the making, undergoing a refinement that requires the stripping away of your own strength, so that mine can be made perfect in you. Every sleepless night was a training ground for your spirit, and every silent tear was a seed planted for a harvest of joy that is already beginning to sprout. Your pain has a purpose, and your exhaustion is the prelude to a supernatural outpouring of my peace that surpasses all understanding. Lay down the heavy armor you have been wearing to protect yourself from the world. You don't have to be strong in my presence. You only have to be mine. I am reaching into the hidden places of your memory, into the wounds that you haven't dared to look at in years, and I am applying the balm of Gilead. I saw the moments when you felt completely overlooked and undervalued, when you poured your heart into people and projects only to receive nothing but silence or criticism in return. I was the one who saw your labor of love when no one else thanked you. I was the one who recorded your kindness when it was met with coldness. You are not invisible to me, and you are not forgotten. The world may celebrate the loud and the proud, but I cherish the humble and the brokenhearted. I am drawing near to you now, closer than your own breath, to remind you that you are the apple of my eye. The season of your hidden suffering is coming to a close, and the light of my favor is beginning to break over your horizon. Trust me in the transition, for I am turning your mourning into dancing. I have watched the sting of betrayal pierce through the layers of your heart, leaving wounds that no human eye can see. I was there in the room when those you trusted most turned their backs, when the hands you once held were pulled away in your moment of greatest need. I saw the shock in your eyes when loyalty was traded for convenience, and when the people you poured your life into became the ones who cast the harshest stones. You felt a coldness settle in your soul that you didn't know was possible. A freezing isolation that made you wonder if love was even real. I felt every sharp word spoken behind your back, every lie crafted to diminish your light, and every abandonment that left you standing alone in the ruins of your expectations. They thought they were leaving you with nothing, but they didn't realize that in the vacuum of their absence, I was moving in to fill every empty space with my eternal presence. You are not a victim of their cruelty. You are a soul being separated for a higher purpose, pruned from relationships that were never meant to sustain the weight of your destiny. You have felt like an island in the middle of a vast churning ocean with waves of misunderstanding crashing against your shores from every direction. I saw the moments when you looked around and realized there was no one left to call. No one who truly understood the depth of your vision or the purity of your intentions. This desert of loneliness was not a punishment, my beloved. It was a sanctuary I allowed so that you could finally hear my voice without the interference of human opinions. The world told you that being alone meant you were rejected, but I tell you that being alone with me is where your true power is forged. In the silence of your isolation, I have been whispering secrets to your spirit that you could never have heard in the noise of a crowd. I saw you trying to explain your heart to people who were committed to misunderstanding you. And I am here to tell you to stop. You do not need to defend yourself to those who cannot see your value. I am your vindicator, and I am building a fortress around your soul that no weapon of betrayal can ever penetrate. I know it hurts to be the one who always gives and yet finds themselves alone when the tables turn. I have seen your generosity met with greed and your kindness met with indifference. But remember this, my chosen one. The same hands that were nailed to a cross are the hands that are holding you now. I was betrayed by a kiss, abandoned by my closest friends, and left to face the darkness of the garden alone. I know the path you are walking. Every person who walked away from you was simply cleared out of the way to make room for the divine connections I am bringing into your life. You are being refined in this solitary place, stripped of the need for human validation so that you can stand fully in my approval. The storm may be howling and the desert may be dry, but I am the living water that will never fail you. You are not lonely. You are set apart. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. Look up, for even in the middle of this desert, I am blooming something beautiful within you that will soon draw the right people to your side. People who will honor the oil on your life and walk with you into the promise. I saw that moment, my beloved child. The one you thought no one witnessed, the one hidden in the deep shadows of your soul where you felt the final thread of your strength begin to snap. You were at the very end of your rope, looking at the frayed edges and feeling the cold pull of the abyss. You were ready to let go of the dreams, the hopes, and even the promise of tomorrow. I saw the surrender in your eyes, but it wasn't the kind of surrender that leads to peace. It was the hollow exhaustion of a soul that had tried to carry the weight of the universe on its own. You whispered, "I am finished," and for a moment the world felt very small, very dark, and very cold. You looked at the exit, the white flag, the thought of simply disappearing into the silence. You felt that you had nothing left to give, no more prayers to offer, and no more tears to shed. But I want you to know that in that exact moment of your greatest weakness, my power was manifesting in its most perfect and absolute form. I was the invisible hand that caught you before your spirit hit the ground. You thought you were falling apart, but I was actually allowing the old layers of your identity to fall away, so that the indestructible spirit I placed within you could finally be revealed. You were not breaking, my precious one. You were becoming. I saw the despair that tried to settle into your bones like a permanent winter, telling you that your story had reached its final page and that the struggle had finally won. But I stood in the path of your destruction. I silenced the voices that told you it was too late and that you had failed too greatly to be redeemed. I blocked the exits you tried to take because I knew the magnitude of the glory that was waiting for you just around the bend. You were so close to the breakthrough, yet the shadows made it seem like the end of the road. I did not bring you through the wilderness just to leave you to perish in the sand. I did not carry you through the fire just to let you be consumed now. Every trial you have faced has been a divine setup for the miracle I am about to release into your life. Take a moment now. Stop the rushing thoughts that tell you to hurry, to worry, or to hide. Stop the internal noise that judges every mistake you've ever made. I want you to do something very simple but very profound right now. Take a deep, slow breath. Feel the air filling your lungs. That is my life-giving spirit moving within you, sustaining you even when you have forgotten how to breathe for yourself. Now place your hand over your heart. Feel that steady rhythmic beat. It is not beating by your own willpower or your own merit. It is beating because I have decreed that your time is not yet finished. It is beating because I have a mission for you that only you can fulfill in this generation. That heartbeat is a drum of war against the enemy's lies. It is a signature of my ownership over your life. As long as that heart beats, my promise is still alive and active. As long as you have breath, I have a plan that no demon can derail and no human can stop. You are a survivor of things that would have crushed 1,000 others. You are still here because I refused to let you go, even when you were ready to let go of me. My grip on your life is not dependent on your strength, but on my unshakable faithfulness. When you were too tired to pray, my spirit interceded for you with groans that words cannot express. When you were too weak to stand, I carried you on my shoulders through the valley of the shadow. The enemy meant for that moment of surrender to be your tomb, but I have turned it into your womb, a place of new birth, new strength, and new beginnings. You are emerging from that dark night with an authority you never possessed before. You are emerging with a testimony that will set captives free and light the way for others who are lost in the dark. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of the most powerful, most prosperous, and most peaceful chapter you have ever lived. Believe me when I say the best is not just coming, it is standing at your door. Have you ever wondered why the battle has been so fierce for you while others seem to coast through life with such ease? Why it feels like every time you take one step toward your dream, the winds of adversity blow you 2 steps back? My child, the intensity of the spiritual warfare you have faced is the greatest compliment the enemy could ever pay to your potential. The darkness does not waste its arrows on those who are sleeping or those who carry no significance. It targets the light. It targets the threat. It targets the one whose awakening would shift the very atmosphere of this earth. You have been under fire because you carry a seed of greatness that makes the kingdom of darkness tremble. You are not a random casualty of life's cruelty. You are a strategic target because of the treasure I have placed within you. The enemy saw your light before you even realized it was there. He saw the generational chains you were destined to break and the healing you were destined to bring to others. That is why the attacks started so early, why the betrayals were so deep, and why the road has felt so incredibly steep and narrow. Think about it, my beloved. If you were truly as worthless or as broken as the shadows try to convince you, why would there be such a concentrated, relentless effort to stop you? Why would the adversary spend so much energy decade after decade trying to convince you to give up, to hide, or to silence your voice? You have been attacked in your mind, your health, and your finances because those are the precise areas where my glory is about to manifest most brilliantly. You are not being punished for your past mistakes. You are being prepared for your future influence. The scars you carry are not marks of shame, but medals of honor from battles you survived when the enemy was absolutely certain you would perish. I have watched every move the adversary has made, and I have laughed at his futile attempts to destroy you. He thought he was burying you under the weight of that depression, but he didn't realize you were a seed that thrives in the dark. He thought he was crushing your spirit with that loss, but he was only releasing the indestructible fragrance of your character. The very fire that was meant to consume you has only served to burn away the cords of people-pleasing and fear that were holding you back from your true self. I want you to understand that I have permitted these trials not to harm you, but to reveal the diamond-like strength I have built inside you. Just as gold must pass through the furnace to be purified, your soul has been passing through a season of intense heat. To remove the dross of doubt, insecurity, and worldly dependence, you are being refined into a sharp instrument in my hands. Every tear of frustration you shed and every night of total confusion has been a heavy investment in your spiritual authority. When you speak now, your words carry weight because they were forged in the fire of real experience. When you pray now, the heavens listen with a different intensity because your faith has been tested and found true. You are a threat to the darkness because you have learned how to find peace in the middle of a hurricane. You have learned how to praise me while your heart is still breaking. That is a supernatural power that the enemy cannot replicate and cannot defeat. You have become fireproof not because you avoided the flames, but because you walked through them with me and refused to let the smell of smoke cling to your spirit. So the next time you feel the weight of spiritual opposition, do not ask why me, but instead say, try me. Recognize that the resistance is a sign that you are moving in the right direction. It is a sign that you are nearing the border of your promised land. The enemy doesn't defend territory that has no value. If he is fighting you for your peace, it's because your peace is a weapon of mass destruction against his lies. If he is fighting you for your joy, it's because your joy is your strength and it inspires everyone around you. You are a chosen one, handpicked by me to shine in this specific hour of human history. The darkness has done its best, and yet here you are, still seeking my face, still listening to my voice, and still choosing to believe in my goodness. This is your victory. The very thing the enemy meant for your evil, I am turning for your absolute good right now. The pressure you have felt is not there to break you, it is the catalyst for your divine promotion. You are rising not in spite of the darkness, but because the darkness forced you to lean entirely on my light, and in that leaning you became unbreakable. I saw the ambushes laid for you that you never even noticed. I saw the traps that were set to ruin your reputation and destroy your future, and I quietly stepped in to redirect your path. You might have felt like you were just lucky or that things just happened to work out, but it was my hand moving the chess pieces of your life. I allowed the enemy to think he was winning just so I could demonstrate my power in your rescue. The reason the attacks have been so personal is because your calling is personal. You were created to be a bridge for others, a lighthouse for the lost, and a living testament that no weapon formed against my children shall prosper. Do not be intimidated by the roar of the lion, for he is a defeated foe. You carry the DNA of the Creator within you. The shadows target you because you remind them of the one who has already overcome the world. Stand tall in your identity today. You are guarded by legions of angels, surrounded by a wall of fire, and kept in the palm of my hand. The battle belongs to me and the victory belongs to you. You have felt as though your life was being shaken, sifted through a fine sieve until only the core of who you are remained. I have allowed the winds of testing to blow across the threshing floor of your soul, not to blow you away, but to separate the wheat from the chaff. Much of what you lost in this season, the relationships that faded, the opportunities that dried up, the ego that was bruised, was simply the weight that would have hindered you in the next dimension of your journey. I am the master potter, and I know exactly when the clay is ready for the fire. You felt the sifting and called it a tragedy. I saw the sifting and called it a cleansing. I am removing every dependency you have on human strength, so that you will know without a shadow of a doubt that it is my spirit alone that sustains you. The shaking has revealed what is unshakable within you, and that is where my kingdom is being built. Remember the promise I spoke through the ages, a promise that is vibrating in your spirit even now. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers they shall not overwhelm you. When you walk through fire, you shall not be burned, and the flame shall not consume you. Notice, my child, I did not say I would keep you from the water or the fire, but that I would be with you in the midst of them. The water is there to wash away the stains of the past, and the fire is there to forge the steel of your character. You have felt the heat, you have felt the current pulling at your feet, and you have wondered if you would make it to the other side. I am here to tell you that the water has a limit and the fire has a boundary, but my love for you is boundless. You are coming out of this not smelling like smoke, but radiating with the brilliance of one who has looked into the eyes of God in the furnace. Take this moment to anchor your faith. If you believe that I am with you in the fire and that no river can overwhelm the destiny I have for you, let the world know. Like this video right now to affirm your trust in my protection, and subscribe to this channel so you can stay connected to the stream of my living water. By doing this, you are telling the universe that you are part of a family that does not fear the storm, because we know the one who speaks to the wind. This simple act of agreement signals to the spiritual realm that you are standing on the rock that cannot be moved. Do not let the noise of the world drown out this divine frequency. Stay plugged into my word and this community of believers, for I have much more to reveal to you as we walk toward the dawn of your restoration. You are like a diamond born of extreme pressure and intense heat. Without the weight of the world pressing down on you, you would have remained as ordinary coal. But I have chosen you for brilliance. The very struggles that made you cry out in pain were the tools I used to cut the facets of your soul, so that you could reflect my light in ways no one else can. A diamond doesn't complain to the jeweler about the pressure. It endures until it becomes a masterpiece. You have endured much, and I want you to know that I have not been indifferent to your suffering. I have been watching with the careful eye of a craftsman, ensuring that the pressure never exceeded your capacity to withstand it. You are stronger than you think, because my strength is the foundation of your existence. You are being polished for a throne, not a cage. And soon the world will see the radiance of what I have forged in the dark. I am more concerned with your character than your comfort, because your character is the only thing that can carry the weight of the blessing I am preparing for you. If I gave you the mountain before you had the strength to climb it, the mountain would crush you. I am strengthening your shoulders, deepening your roots, and expanding your heart's capacity to love and lead. This sifting season was your entrance exam for the much I have promised. You have been faithful in the little, in the quiet, in the hidden struggles where no one saw your integrity. Now the time of hiding is nearing its end. The sifting is complete, the refining is finishing its work, and the vessel is ready to be filled to overflowing. Trust the process, for I am the God who makes all things beautiful in their appointed time, and your time for beauty is at hand. I want you to pause for a moment and consider the disasters that never happened. I want you to think about the traps that were set for your feet, but that you never stepped into, the sicknesses that whispered your name but could not take hold, and the accidents that were scheduled by the enemy but were canceled by my command. You have spent so much time mourning what you lost that you haven't realized how much I have saved. There were nights when the devourer came to take everything, your sanity, your family, your very life. And I stood at the door of your soul and said, "Not this one." I have redirected cars, changed the minds of people who meant to harm you, and closed doors that would have led to your total destruction. You call it luck, or you call it a near miss, but I call it the arm of the Lord. I have been your invisible shield, a wall of fire that the darkness could not penetrate even when you were too distracted or too broken to ask for my protection. My covenant with you is not a piece of paper. It is a bond of blood and spirit that I will never ever break. You have often felt like a child lost in a storm, drifting further and further away from the shore of my peace. You felt your grip on me slipping, and you feared that if you let go, you would be lost forever. But my beloved, you have misunderstood the nature of our connection. Your safety does not depend on how tightly you hold on to me. It depends on how tightly I hold on to you. And I tell you this today, my grip is unbreakable. Even when you turned your back in anger, I was there. Even when you wandered into the far country of doubt and shame, I never took my eyes off you. I refuse to let you go because you are my inheritance. You are the joy that was set before me when I endured the cross. I have written your name on the palms of my hands, and those scars are the eternal signature of my refusal to abandon you. When you felt like you were falling, you weren't falling into the abyss. You were falling into my grace. I allowed you to reach the end of yourself so that you could finally discover that my arms are wide enough to catch you and strong enough to carry you home. I am the God who keeps his promises even when you find it hard to keep yours. My love is not a reaction to your perfection. It is a commitment to your soul. I saw the moments when you felt like a failure, when you thought you had disqualified yourself from my favor because of the mistakes of your past. The enemy whispered that I was done with you, that you had used up your last chance, and that my silence was my departure. But I was silent because I was working. I was silent because I was fighting a battle on your behalf in the unseen realm, silencing the accuser who demanded your life. I have never been closer to you than in the moments when you felt the most distant from me. I have blocked the path of every curse intended for your bloodline. I have stayed the hand of every person who tried to ruin your reputation. You are still here because my mercy is new every morning and my faithfulness reaches to the clouds. I did not bring you this far to leave you, and I did not start this work in you just to watch it fail. Do you understand that you are under a divine canopy of protection? The world is shaking and many are filled with terror, but you can rest your head in the hollow of my hand. I am the shepherd who leaves the 99 to find the one, and I have found you. I have pulled you out of the miry clay and set your feet upon a rock. This covenant I have made with you is everlasting. It is older than the stars and more enduring than the mountains. I have sworn by my own name that I will bless you and keep you. I have commanded my angels to take charge over you, to bear you up in their hands, lest you dash your foot against a stone. You have survived the unsurvivable because I am the King of Kings, and I have placed my seal upon your heart. No power in heaven or on earth, no height or depth, no angel or demon can separate you from the love I have for you. You are held. You are safe. You are mine, and I will never under any circumstance let you go. This is my vow to you, and it shall stand forever. Listen closely. My beloved, for the atmosphere around you is already beginning to ripple with the frequency of change. You have been in a long season of waiting, a winter of the soul that felt like it would never end. But I tell you that the ice is cracking. Within the next 24 hours, I am releasing specific signals from my throne to let you know that your prayer has been heard and that the answer is already in motion. You may have felt a strange, inexplicable stirring in your spirit today, a restlessness that is not born of anxiety but of anticipation. That is my spirit alerting yours that a divine shift is occurring. The alignment you have been praying for, the doors you have been knocking on, and the healing you have been seeking are converging into a single moment of manifestation. Do not dismiss the small things that are about to happen, for in the kingdom of heaven the small things are the harbingers of the great. The wind is changing direction in your favor, and the very ground beneath your feet is being prepared for the seeds of blessing I am about to scatter. Watch for the numbers, for I often speak in the language of order and precision. You will see sequences that catch your eye, perhaps 1111, 444, or 777 appearing in places you least expect. These are not coincidences, they are my digital amends. My way of winking at you to remind you that I am perfectly on time. You may receive a sudden message or a phone call from someone you haven't spoken to in years, or perhaps an email that provides the very missing piece of the puzzle you've been trying to solve. I am moving people like chess pieces on your behalf, orchestrating conversations you didn't even know you needed. Pay attention to the songs you hear, the phrases people repeat to you, and the sudden flashes of insight that drop into your mind. I am bypassing your logic and speaking directly to your intuition. The heavy cloud that has been sitting over your head is lifting, and for the first time in a long time, you will feel a lightness in your chest, a sudden realization that the battle is actually over. There will be a distinct shift in your internal environment, a peace that makes no sense given your current circumstances. I am quietening the storms of your mind so that you can hear my still small voice with clarity. You will find yourself breathing deeper, sleeping better, and looking at your problems through the lens of my power rather than your own limitations. This is the peace that surpasses all understanding, taking up residence in your heart. When you encounter a situation that would normally trigger your fear or your temper, you will find a supernatural calm instead. That is the sign that I have taken over the controls of your life. I am replacing your spirit of heaviness with a garment of praise. This transformation is not something you have to work for. It is something you simply need to receive. As you walk through the next day, keep a posture of radical gratitude, thanking me for the miracle before you even see it with your physical eyes. You are stepping across a threshold from the not yet into the now. The delay was not a denial. It was a divine shielding, a time of preparation so that when the blessing arrives, you have the maturity to manage it and the character to keep it. In these next 24 hours, I want you to be more observant than usual. Look at the world through the eyes of a chosen one who knows their Father is the King. I am breaking the stagnation that has held your life in a grip for months, even years. Financial blockages are being dissolved, relational tensions are being diffused, and the path ahead is being illuminated with my glory. You are not just entering a new day, you are entering a new era of your life. The shadows are retreating because they cannot stand the radiance of what I am doing in you. Stand tall. My child, for your redemption is drawing near, and the signs of my presence will be so undeniable that you will have no choice but to fall on your knees in awe of my faithfulness. My child, I have looked upon the empty spaces in your life, the years that felt like a desert, the resources that were drained by circumstances beyond your control, and the dreams that seemed to wither before they could even bloom. I saw the locusts of debt, delay, and disappointment devour the harvest you worked so hard to plant. You have asked me, Lord, where did it all go? Why was I allowed to lose so much? I want you to hear me clearly now. Nothing is truly lost when it is in my hands. I am the God of the overflow, and I have been keeping a perfect record of every sleepless night and every stolen opportunity. The enemy thought he was bankrupting you, but he was only creating a vacuum that I am now destined to fill with my abundance. You have been in a season of subtraction, but I am shifting you into a season of exponential multiplication. The struggle for just enough is ending, and the era of more than enough is beginning to dawn upon your household. I am the one who said I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten. This is not a mere suggestion. It is a divine decree. I am not just going to replace what was taken. I am going to compensate you for the time you spent in the waiting room. I am restoring your joy, your health, and your confidence. Those years you felt were wasted because of a bad relationship, a failed business, or a health crisis, I am going to compress a decade's worth of progress into a single year of favor. You will look back and realize that the delay was actually a gathering of momentum. I am restoring your reputation in the very places where you were misunderstood. Those who look down on you will see you lifted up by my hand, not out of pride, but as a testimony to my faithfulness. The shame that has clung to your name is being washed away, replaced by a crown of beauty. You are being vindicated, my beloved, and the restoration will be so complete that the scars of the past will only serve as a map to your victory. Watch as I open windows in heaven that no man can shut. I am releasing divine ideas and creative strategies into your mind that will generate wealth you did not have to toil for. I am bringing you into a place of financial rest where the spirit of lack no longer has a seat at your table. I am touching the hearts of people in positions of influence to show you favor for reasons they cannot explain. Debts that seemed like mountains will be leveled into plains. Resources that were held up in legal battles or bureaucratic red tape are being released this very hour. You will see that I am your provider, the one who sees and provides. Do not be afraid to dream big again. Do not let the trauma of past poverty dictate the boundaries of your future. I am expanding your territory, not just so you can be comfortable, but so you can be a distribution center for my kingdom. As I pour into you, you will have more than enough to bless your family, your community, and the strangers I bring across your path. I am also reaching into the broken fragments of your family and your heart. I am the mender of shattered bonds. Those relationships that were torn apart by pride, misunderstanding, or the interference of others, I am breathing my healing breath upon them. I am bringing home the prodigals. I am softening the hearts that have turned to stone. You will experience a restoration of intimacy and trust that you thought was gone forever. But even more than the external things, I am restoring you to yourself. I am bringing back the laughter that died out years ago. I am bringing back the spark in your eyes and the passion in your soul. You will feel whole again, no longer fragmented by the trauma of what you've been through. This restoration is all-encompassing. It touches your bank account, your body, your family, and your spirit. I am making all things new, and the glory of this latter house shall be greater than the former. Believe it, receive it, and step into the abundance I have prepared for you. This is my covenant of restoration with you. It is a promise signed in my own blood. You have been faithful in the lean times, and now you shall be fruitful in the harvest times. I am accelerating the process. What would normally take a lifetime to rebuild, I will accomplish in a sudden burst of grace. You will find yourself wondering how everything changed so quickly, and the answer will be simple: I did it. I am the God who turns around situations that are labeled impossible. I am the God who brings life to dead things. The locusts have had their season, but their time is up. Your season of gathering has begun. Stand in awe as I perform the miraculous in your everyday life. The storage houses of heaven are open, and your name is written on the delivery. From this day forward you shall not know lack, for my restoration is your new reality. Praise me in the middle of the restoration, for it is already done in the Spirit. I have seen the eyes that looked at you with disdain, and the hearts that turned cold when you needed them most. I was there when they whispered your name as a cautionary tale, laughing behind your back while you were struggling to keep your head above the water. I know the words they spoke in the dark, they will never recover, their best days are behind them, and where is their God now? I watched as they distanced themselves from your fire when it began to flicker, acting as if your struggle was a contagious disease they had to avoid. I saw the mockers and the scoffers who took pleasure in your silence. But I want you to know that I have recorded every smirk, every cold shoulder, and every lie crafted to diminish your worth. I allowed them to think they were winning, and I allowed them to watch you fall only because I wanted them to have a front-row seat to your resurrection. I am not just a God of the secret place. I am a God of public vindication. I am preparing a table for you right now, my beloved, and I am not setting it in a secret corner or a hidden valley. I am laying it out in the very center of the arena where you were mocked. I am spread a banquet of favor, a feast of breakthrough, and an abundance of peace that will leave your onlookers in a state of absolute awe. And here is the divine justice of my kingdom. Those who tried to cancel you will have to watch you be promoted. Those who tried to starve your spirit will have to witness your overflow. I am anointing your head with the oil of joy, a fragrance of my approval so strong that it will silence every critic. Your cup is not just full, it is running over, splashing my grace onto everything you touch. You will no longer be the one begging for a seat at their table or seeking their validation. I am making you the host of a life so blessed that they will have to acknowledge that the hand of the Almighty is the only explanation for your success. If you believe that I am preparing this place of honor for you right now, do not stay silent in the face of this promise. This is the moment to come into radical agreement with my word. Type "I believe" or 777 in the comments to claim your seat at this divine table and seal this breakthrough in the spirit. And if you feel the power of my presence stirring deep within your soul, press the like button and subscribe to this channel right now. Joining this family of believers is your way of telling the spiritual realm that you belong to the King of Kings, and that you are ready to walk out of the shadows and into the light of my public favor. Your subscription is a seed of faith, a signal to heaven that you are moving from the season of being overlooked to the season of being honored. The season of your invisibility is officially over. For years you worked in the dark, you prayed in the dark, and you bled in the dark. You were faithful when no one was watching, when no one gave you credit, and when it would have been easier to simply give up. I saw your integrity when you chose the narrow path despite the critics. Because you honored me in the secret places of your heart, I am going to honor you before the world. I am putting a robe of righteousness on your shoulders and a ring of authority on your finger. The very people who once overlooked you will now seek your counsel. Those who once slammed doors in your face will find themselves needing the keys of wisdom I have entrusted to you. This is not about pride or revenge. It is about my glory being displayed through a life that refused to quit. You are my living testimony, and the world is about to see what happens when the Creator decides to shine His face upon His chosen child. Do not worry about how this transformation will take place. You do not need to fight for your reputation, and you do not need to strive for the spotlight. I am the great architect of timing, and I know exactly when to reveal the masterpiece I have been crafting in your soul. Just as Joseph was pulled from the dungeon to the palace in a single day, your suddenly is approaching with a speed that will take your breath away. I am making your enemies your footstool, not to crush them, but to use their opposition as the very stairs you need to climb to your next level. Rest in me, my precious one. The table is set, the guests are being summoned, and the honor is yours. You have passed the test of humility in the desert. Now welcome to the season of my public vindication. Your head is held high not by your own power, but because I am the one who lifts it. The long night of the soul is finally receding. and the first rays of a glorious dawn are beginning to illuminate the path I have set before you. You are stepping out of the dark cave of isolation not as the same broken person who entered it, but as a resurrected spirit clothed in authority and light. For too long you felt as though you were living in a tomb surrounded by the cold walls of depression, anxiety, and the echoing silence of my voice. But that cave was not your grave, it was your womb. It was the place where your old self died so that the new identity I designed before the stars were made could finally emerge. Feel the warmth of my favor touching your face right now. The shadows that once haunted your mind are fleeing because they cannot exist in the radiance of this new day. You are free, my beloved. Free from the guilt of your past, free from the expectations of men, and free from the fear of the future. The era of mere survival is over. The era of your divine dominion has begun. You are no longer a victim of the storm. You are the one who speaks to the storm and commands it to be still. As you walk into this new morning, you will notice a weight in your hands, not the weight of a burden, but the weight of a mantle. I have called you to be more than just a survivor. I have called you to be a shepherd, a lighthouse, and a bridge for others who are still lost in the dark. The very pain you endured in the silence of the cave has become your greatest credential. Because you were hungry, you can now feed the starving. Because you were lost, you can lead the wanderers home with a compassion that only comes from experience. You are entering a season of unprecedented influence where your words will carry the weight of my spirit and your actions will spark a chain reaction of healing in everyone you meet. People will look at you and wonder why you shine so brightly, why you carry such an unshakable peace, and you will tell them of the one who held you when you were ready to let go. You are no longer following behind. You are being positioned at the forefront. I am giving you a voice that commands attention and a spirit that emanates my power. This is your mission, to go back to the edges of the valleys you once feared and show the world that the dawn is real. In this new era, your rhythm will be entirely different from the struggle of the past. You will no longer strive, for you have learned the secret of abiding in my presence. You will no longer beg, for you know that every resource you need is already flowing from my eternal storehouses. You are walking in a supernatural clarity where my will becomes your heartbeat. The doors that once required a desperate struggle to open will now swing wide at the sound of your approach. The enemies that once terrified you will now be but a distant memory, for I have raised you to a spiritual height where their arrows can no longer reach you. You are entering a time of profound rest within the work, a beautiful paradox where you will achieve more by doing less because you are flowing with the current of my grace rather than fighting against it. This is the life of abundance and purpose I always intended for you. Take a deep, steady breath and step forward with unshakable confidence. The ground you walk on is holy, the air you breathe is filled with my life-giving presence, and the future I have written for you is more beautiful than anything your mind could have ever imagined. The sun has risen, and it shall never set on my favor in your life. My beloved, as we draw near to the conclusion of this divine encounter, I want you to look back one last time at the mountain you have just climbed. You arrived at this message feeling like a soul on the verge of extinction, a survivor barely clinging to the wreckage of your dreams. But look at yourself now. The light that has entered your spirit during this conversation has changed the very composition of your soul. You are no longer just a survivor. You are a conqueror through the love that I have poured into you. You have stood in the furnace and emerged not as ashes, but as pure, refined gold. The strength you feel rising in your chest right now is not a temporary emotion. It is the permanent awakening of the chosen one within you. I have seen your endurance, and I have found you worthy of the mantle you now carry. Go forth with your head held high, for the King of the universe is your Father, and the victory has already been secured in the heavenly realms. Every step you take from this moment on is a step of authority, and every word you speak shall be seasoned with the power of my grace. Do not fear the silence that may follow this message, for my silence is never absence. It is the quiet confidence of a father watching his child succeed. I am placing my eternal seal upon your heart, a mark of ownership that the enemy cannot erase and the world cannot ignore. You are covered by the blood that speaks a better word than the accusations of men. I have given you the keys to the kingdom, and what you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and what you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. You are a vessel of light in a world that is desperate for hope. When the shadows try to creep back in, remember this moment. Remember that I refused to let go when you were ready to quit. Remember that I have already defeated the giants you are facing. You are never alone, for my spirit dwells within you, guiding you, comforting you, and empowering you to do the impossible. The bond between us is unbreakable, and the destiny I have for you is unstoppable. It is time to seal this prophecy into your life so that no thief can steal what I have given you today. This is the final act of faith, the moment where you lock these blessings into your reality. Do not let this word fall to the ground. If you believe that your breakthrough is here, if you accept the restoration of all that was lost, and if you are ready to walk as a chosen one, then let your voice be heard in the courts of heaven. Type Amen or I receive in the comments right now to activate the energy of protection and abundance over your household. By typing these words, you are signing the divine contract of my favor. You are telling the universe that the old chapter is closed and the new era of glory has officially begun. Let your Amen be a shout of victory that echoes through every corner of your life, shattering every chain and opening every locked door. This message was not for everyone. It was specifically for you, and it is intended to reach every weary soul who is still wandering in the dark. Be a vessel of my love, not just a reservoir. If you have been touched by these words, I invite you to share this message with 3 people who are struggling right now. Your share could be the very rope I use to pull them out of their own pit. Join this global family of light by hitting the like button and subscribing to this channel once more. This is your commitment to stay connected to the divine frequency and to build a community where the chosen ones can find strength. By subscribing, you are planting yourself in a garden of faith where you will continue to grow and flourish. We are building an army of light together, and your presence is essential. My precious child, go in peace and walk in the fullness of your calling. The storm has passed, the sun has risen, and the path is clear. I have given you my peace, not as the world gives, but as only the Creator can. Do not let your heart be troubled, and do not be afraid. The same hands that hold the stars are holding you, and I will never ever let you go. This is my final seal upon your spirit today. You are blessed, you are protected, you are restored, and you are loved with an everlasting love. It is finished. It is done. It is yours. I love you, and I will be with you until the end of the age.